If you spend 30 minutes on the job board, you're going to feel like you spent a half an hour in the spin cycle on your washing machine, bouncing between feeling exhilarated with all the opportunity and exasperated because of the absolute crazy, insane job descriptions that are out there. They're so detailed, I don't think a rocket scientist from NASA would qualify for half of the things that I see. And let's throw in a double dose of ghosting to really add that added measure to drive you absolutely crazy. Now, job boards serve a purpose, and most people use them incorrectly, which is why this ranks as number 8 on our series of 15 reasons why job hunting is so hard and 45 reasons how to make it fast and fun again. I'm going to give you some ways to turn these job boards into your advantage and make sure that this is not a soul-crushing part of your job hunt. The first thing I want you to be really clear on is that 70% of resumes are never ever seen by a human eye. So the ATS systems are banging you into the reject pile. You don't get an email saying that, hey, sorry, no go, we don't want you. And you're sitting here feeling ghosted, wondering what's going on. So if you are going to be using these job boards, which I don't think you should, I'll tell you why in just a minute, but make sure you give yourself a fighting chance by using an optimization tool like Cultivated Culture or JobScan. These tools match your resume and your LinkedIn profile, they both have to do this, against the job description and tell you how close you are, so you're getting a preview of what that ATS is going to do with your resume before you hit send. Here's another fun fact. If you are over 30 years old, you have a less than 10% chance of landing your next role by applying through a job posting. Now, most managers that are hiring for mid to senior level people already have an idea of who they want to hire. So it's no surprise that when you spend all that time tweaking your resume, getting it just perfect, finally submitting it, that you hear nothing because the job is already filled. So you should use those job boards for research, not as your end all be all. Get out there, see who's hiring, what the compensation levels are, what kind of skills they're looking for, and then go backdoor into that company, find people in your network or friends of people in your network that can get you in the door so you can talk to people who are really doing the hiring instead of playing all these insane games with your resume and submitting into these job boards. And then the third thing I want you to really remember is that 30% of these job requirements are absolutely not necessary. You have job descriptions that are being written by people who don't do the work. You add on a bunch of things that people think they might need someday on a full moon or when the sky turns purple. And then you add some extra information there from an HR perspective. And it is no wonder when you look at these job descriptions, no one feels qualified because no one would measure up on paper. So make sure that you know that if you meet 70% of what they're looking for, you're good to go. And here's a pro tip for you. When you know that there's something that they need that they're not allowed to ask for, make sure that's on your resume too. No one is ever going to say, I need somebody who can deal with really difficult people and tight deadlines. You're never going to see that on a job description. But if you know that, then find good ways to put that in your resume. So not only are you talking about the things that they're asking for, but you're talking about the things that they need that they're not allowed to ask for. It's a great way to make sure that you get in front of the hiring manager. So according to the World Economic Forum, 41% of people are planning on making a job change this year. That means there is opportunity everywhere, and whether you're looking or not looking, they're going to find you. Make sure you're ready. Use the job boards for information. Make sure that you know that what you're seeing is not always what they need, and then really give yourself that fighting chance in terms of making sure that your resume is optimized, right? So you use those tools to be able to get that resume and those LinkedIn profiles optimized so you stand a fighting chance. If you're thinking about making a change, or if you are not ready to take an opportunity that comes out of the blue, you need to be. Click the link in this post and check out our programs and see how we can help you move faster and further and get that career accelerated to a point where you are happy and loving every single Monday. I'm Tammy Alvarez, the creator of the Career Winner Circle, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the inside.